So this video I'm going to do is about how to attach your camping gas bottle in a motorhome for the first time. I've just picked up my new motorhome and this time didn't come with a bottle, so this is a new thing for us, getting a bottle. Firstly, you have to decide what type of gas bottle you need. My dealer recommended propane gas, as it has a much lower boiling point, which means in essence that it can be stored and used at low temperatures, for example in the English summer, hopefully not. And the size of the container that you need is really sort of determined by 4 things. Number 1, the size of the gas storage area that you've got in your van or caravan. Just make sure you can fit the height in for travelling. Secondly, how much usage you think you might need. So we sort of chose the biggest one we could fit in the cupboard. Obviously you have to change it less, although we don't actually use a huge amount, so it lasts quite a long time. And in our cupboard we can actually fit 2 of these 6 kilogram style propane ones. The third one is your budget, obviously. The bigger they are, the more gas they hold, so the more expensive they are. And the fourth thing is your payload. So the overall weight of the gas that you carry adds up to the total weight of your van. And as you probably know, there is limits that you are legally allowed to drive on the road, but that's a whole different subject, and you can find other videos about your payload on YouTube. So yeah, that's the 4 things. So we've got propane, because it's easier to store at lower temperatures, you don't have to worry about that. 6 kilogram size, because we can fit 2 in our cupboard, which is actually really useful because if one runs out invariably in the middle of the night, you haven't got to go to a garage or anything, you've got another one there, so you can just go out in your pyjamas with your head torch and swap it over. So yeah, so that's why we've got these 2 ones. Oh, just to say, I actually, even though it says it's 6 kilograms on the bottle, I actually thought, well, I don't want to. Does it actually weigh that much with the bottle as well? So I weighed it on my kitchen scales, and it's actually 14.4 kilograms overall. So yeah, if you're worried about your payload, that's how much a 6 kilogram bottle is. I don't know how much the other ones are. I looked on the Calor gas site, but they didn't have any weight, so you just have to perhaps weigh your own. Now they are. When you first get one, you have to, it wasn't as easy as we thought. I thought, oh, you can just go and get them from a garage or a B&Q or something. But actually, when we went to inquire, when you first get your bottle, brand new, if you haven't got a bottle at all, you have to sign up a contract and fill it all in with all your details. I don't know if that's anything to do with like sort of terrorism, so that you can't stockpile a load of bottles, or I think it might be just because of the cost of the bottles. It's almost like you sort of hire them. So for a 6 kilogram one from Calor gas, we paid, what was it, 63, hang on, I've written it down, £63.44 for a big new bottle like that. And we ordered it online at calor.co.uk, and then they delivered it to the house for no extra charge. That was quite good, although it did take a couple of days, so we were panicking if it was going to get here in time for us to go away. But yeah, you need to be a bit organised, think ahead. And then obviously when this one runs out, you can then go to quite a lot of different places then just to do a swap refill. So you give them this bottle and they give you one in return. And for a 6 kilogram, well, on calor.co.uk it was £23.45 for a swap. So obviously a lot cheaper once you've paid that initial rental for the bottle. I was wondering about if you get like an old battered bottle the next time you swap, but it doesn't really matter apparently. Because when I looked at the Calor gas, if at the time you go and take your bottle back at the end of whenever, if you get rid of your motorhome and you've got a spare gas bottle hanging around, you can actually get a refund on your bottle depending how old it is, well, how old your contract is. So you have to take in your paperwork, your original paperwork, if you can find it after how many years, how organised are you, and then they'll give you a refund. So if you, for example, if you've only had it for a year and you've got the paperwork, they can give you up to a 70% refund. Whereas if you've got no paperwork or anything, you've had it for ages, and they'll only give you a maximum of £7.50. But if you've got some hanging around in your shed or something and you want to just get rid of them because they're not that easy to dispose of, and you can take them back to Calor and get your £7.50. So that's just a little bit of extra that maybe be useful for you. Okay, so here's the bottle ready to go. It's got like a plastic stopper in, and it should be sort of, I don't know if you can see that, it says open and close. You twist that knob on the top, open and close, and it should be obviously closed at the minute because it's just being transported. So there's our bottle, and we're ready to go and put it in the truck. So as you can see, this is my lovely new van I've just had delivered, and this is the gas bottle that we had earlier, which I've already told you all about. So we're ready to go. So here's the special spanner, 30mm gas spanner, and this is the bottle again with its stopper in. And this is our cupboard. As you can see, it's got space for 2 bottles, and that's the connector that came with the van. Pretty heavy. Shove it in there in the cupboard. I mean, place it carefully in the cupboard. Jiggle it around a bit so you can get it the right way around to attach it easily. And your special 30mm gas spanner. Do not lose that. Okay, so make sure it's turned off for now while you're attaching it, and then just take out the plastic stopper, give it a bit of a twist. Comes out quite easily. And then put your gas regulator in. So you just slot it in, and then it's got like a nut. You just can do it with your fingers. It's actually anti-clockwise, which is the opposite way to what you would normally expect. Sometimes it takes a bit of a jiggle to make sure it's lined up properly. So you tighten it with your fingers to start with, to sort of fairly tight. And then this is when you need your spanner to give it that extra bit of tightness to make sure it's connected properly and you're not going to have any leaks, because propane particularly is quite a high pressure gas. So make sure that's all done nicely, and then you can turn the knob on. Again, it's the opposite way to the way you'd see, but it says on the top open and close, so that's pretty straightforward. So open it up, and then the gas is able to flow, and then we have to prime the pipe on my particular connecting system in 2 places. That really is quite varied. We'll show you that later. And this is just the attaching strap to keep it safe while you're traveling, so you don't want it like rattling around or tipping over. So yeah, just, oh, it's a bit wonky, never mind, just do that up. Keep it nice and secure on the journey. Particularly if Mark's driving, because he's a bit more racing driver than I am. Okay, so yeah, I've got this manual that came with my heating system. I don't know if you can see on that book. There we go. So it tells you how to prime your pipe. Yours might be different, so just turn the gas on and push that green button for 5 seconds to prime the pipe. Let a bit of gas in. And then the other green button, that's the special cut-off button. So you can prime that again for 5 seconds if that's disconnected. And then it should be ready to go. So we'll go and check. Turn the electric on in your van if you have one like me, so that the clicker works. And then turn the knob and push the clicker and see if your gas, yay, we have gas. Good stuff. And then we'll just go and put the other bottle in. Obviously this one's just for transport. It's not attached. We've only got one bottle attached at a time. And then this one is just in case when the other one runs out, we've got one ready to go. Just swap the pipe over. Strap that in again nice and tight for a safe travel. And that's it, pretty much done. I'll put all the information in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, then please feel free to put those below as well. And if you want to consider subscribing, that would be great. Hopefully there'll be more videos shortly. Just a little bit of extra. Obviously you want to keep your special spanner safe, so I put a big orange ribbon on mine so you don't lose it on the grass, and keep it in my special toolkit that I have and in the cupboard safely with my other stuff.